I'm off to meet Judith Kotze, one of South Africa's first fully qualified and legitimised female Dutch Reformed ministers. A woman whose greatest passion since childhood has been to serve God and others, and whose personal journey has challenged her and those around her to their core.
How are you?
Fine as well.
Yeah, good to see you.
Yeah,
Hello.
good to see you. Let me introduce you. This is Bulelwa.
Hi, Bulelwa. How are you? Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
I'm
this
Ingrid
is-
Skoenraad.
Hi, Ingrid. So, Jude, this is it.
Yeah, we're very proud of this space.
So you've literally come up in the world, you guys, eh?
We've come up in the world, that you can say again.
Judith's work takes her into communities beyond her own, and this Centre for Hope and Healing gives expression to her need to work with the marginalised and give service beyond the pulpit.
It seems like with me, it is a calling. You respond to the one who calls us into becoming more we made to be, and then to assist and support others to become what they meant to be. Whole people. There's more breath and life in going for wholeness than there is in surviving pieces of yourself.
And Judith, you're telling your own story.
Yes, yes.
This is you. This is you.
Judith grew up in conservative small-town surrounds, where family, the church and vocation were key. Her father was a teacher and her grandfather a minister. Her soulmate and constant companion was her twin sister Hanti. Together they determined from an early age that they would commit their lives to the church.
Ek het geweet toe ek was skaars 6 jaar. Hierdie is omtrent die fotootjie wat ek so sê, ons het in ons skoolklere geslaap die eerste dag op skool, hierdie is op Garries. En ek onthou daai tyd al het ek geweet ek gaan 'n predikant word. Being from so early on aware of this calling, how challenging it was journeying from this stage and sharing it with Hanti, which I think had a huge impact of continuously affirming it so it's stayed alive. To be identical, it's like the nearest to heaven that you can get, because the love is unconditional, the interest in each other is limitless. We are like a unit, and especially those first years, she's the outer one, so she faced all the troubles, and I was always the one taking care of our inner reality, making sure that we discuss what happened, or if she had blind spots. Ons was Holy Mary, so sê ons, maar ons het in haar extreme CSV. Ons was so ontsettend daarin en gespreksgenote, dat al die fokus vir my in elk geval was om vrede te maak daarmee dat mense sê 'n vrou mag nie 'n predikant word nie, en hoe kom ek tot rus oor die roeping in my dat ek weet dat die binne in my, die essensie van my, weet dat dit is wat ek gaan doen.
There you were with your strong spiritual conviction, your calling, but the world didn't see it the same way.
It wasn't possible in the church itself for a woman to qualify and actually be legitimized and called to a congregation ordained. It wasn't possible. In the culture and in the dominant interpretation of the Bible, it wasn't seen as something that God would want. The Bible says, literally, a woman must keep quiet in the presence of the faith community. It's through the leadership of a man that you can access more knowledge about God. My parents, my grandparents, the deepest value and their identity was in their faith. The barrier was you're touching something that's best left alone.
Judith and Hanti were model daughters. The last thing they ever wanted was to upset the status quo. But at some point their calling was too strong. They felt they had to express what was going on inside.
So you and Hanti took a leap of faith.
It was in stand 6. I actually skied on the ice and I broke my nose. When I woke up, my mother was in the room. I was without any inhibition, honestly. So if you ask what was my leap of faith, it was with the help of anesthetics, apart from it was, I was crying. I said, ek wil nie meer stil bly nie. Ek wil nie meer sê ek wil 'n predikant word. Ek wil nie meer sê I can still. And I said, my mother said, "Ag my kind, as dit is wat jy moet doen." Then I'm crying. I'm so relieved. I've said it. It's not just with Auntie. I've said it. It was a turning point in my life.
It was very difficult for my dad to stomach that, because at that stage there were very few Afrikaans female ministers, if any, and he saw no future for them to enroll as theology students in Stellenbosch.
My father said, it doesn't make sense. Why would you want to go and do all these years knowing beforehand that you won't have work? He said, no, we understand. You were called to become a teacher and a principal and expressed yourself. But this is not, the calling is to study theology. Die feit dat jy jou spiritualiteit en jou identiteit en jou roeping deel jy, so dis een en al bevestiging en as hulle sê, julle kan nie, die vrou in die ambt is nog nie toegelaat nie, dit word nie aanvaar nie, dan het ons net gebid, Here, maak hy hek oop en daai deur het oopgemaak.
The idea, if I can guess, was that God was going to provide. It was absolutely a leap of faith. And the miracle is that God actually provided.